What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Ryan's just bringing you another video. This one's kind of out of my wheelhouse normally, but you know, where we cover PvP and stuff, and I'm kind of trying to branch out and bring new content to you guys to see if anybody can use this specific content that I'm bringing to you. I know that was a mouthful and it was really confusing, but I'll just start off by saying, you know, if you guys are newcomers to my channel, we do all PvP oriented stuff, and it's all like PvP builds, PvP tips and tricks, you know, open world 1vx and stuff like that. Now, if you are new to my channel, I'm glad to have you guys here. I'm glad you guys stopped by to watch the video. Now, if you guys are returning viewers, it's good to have you back. So we'll just go ahead and hop right into the video. Today's video is going to be about tips and tricks as far as kiting is concerned. Now, I noticed this spot in the blue base. I don't know how it is on the yellow and red bases, but I'm sure they have corridors similar to the ones that's in here. But I was coming in here to buy some sigils of Imperial Retreat so I can deposit stones and stuff, and I noticed this little corridor in here that was pretty tight knit, and you know, it'd be perfect for practicing kiting. Now, I know this really only applies to newer players that are trying to get into solo play, if there even is anymore, but this little area would be perfect for learning how to kite and learning how to, you know, mitigate some damage as far as trying to solo and stuff. So like, there's this little area right through here that's like this little hallway that has a bunch of odds and ends and turns and places that you could avoid damage just to practice on. So the ideal that I had is I could show you my thought process when I'm kiting. Okay, so say you're right here and you're getting chased by, we'll just say 10 yellows, right? So you want to get out of the open as soon as you possibly can. Okay, so to do that, I mean, you're gonna have to go somewhere, but here's an alleyway, right? So you can see how many's on you, see if they're pushing, if they're not. Rebuff. I mean, every time that while you're running around and kiting and stuff, you should always keep your buffs up. So while I'm kiting, I'm always looking at my buff tracker, which is the tracker at the bottom right above my health bar, right? So I can see which buffs are active and which ones are not. But I mean, all of this comes with experience. I mean, once you get into the concept of, you know, keeping your buffs active and making sure you have it all up at the same time before you push or while you're kiting and stuff, it's super important. I mean, it mitigates a lot of your damage. It has your armor buff up, your weapon damage buff up, your heals. But anyway, what I was getting at is you could do this on any class. It's just, I was playing Stam at the time, and I was coming over here to buy some stuff, and it just has the perfect mobility for it. Now, if you want to practice on a slower class, it'd be cool too, but like to get the hang of stuff, it's probably better to use either a fast class like Stam or maybe put a bow on your character if you have the passives for the mobility, the hasty retreat passives. But anyway, I'll just go ahead and get into my thought process. I think I've rambled on enough. So like, say I'm trying to avoid damage or whatever. Now, as I'm moving into an alleyway, say if they're all bunched up, I'd streak through them to stun them, just to get them off of me for a second, and try to get away from them, just so I can rebuff or reheal or whatever. And you're constantly trying to move. So like, the longer you sit still, the more damage and more possibility of you dying is going to be. So like, in this little alleyway, there's all kinds of different places that you can move around to. So like, these chairs, people are going to run into these chairs, they're going to lose track of where you went, and they're going to have to, it splits them up, it separates them, or it puts them all together so you can turn around and heavy attack and try to burst somebody down and get an execute on them. But like, as far as kiting is concerned, you don't need to go offensive until you really either select a player that you think you can burst down in an attack or two. So like, maybe a heavy attack dizzy around the corner and maybe get an execute off. And like, the whole time you're Xing, you need to try to pick a person, look at their nameplates and stuff, and see, you know, which person might have a little bit less of health, which person looks the squishiest. So like, there are certain outfits and costumes, and if they're not, I know it's hard to tell these days where you can change your costume and stuff, but a lot of times you can tell who's squishy by what they're wearing, especially if it's a newer player in Cyrodiil or a newer character and they haven't dyed their costume and stuff. Like, you can tell that they're wearing light, or, you know, you want to focus the healer first, because like, you don't want to focus a tank, like the guy with 50k health and he's doing nothing but blocking. So like, the whole time you're kiting, you need to be figuring out, like, doing little pokes like heavy attacks, and oh wow, hey, maybe I hit that guy for a 5k heavy, he might be a little squishy. Or, you know, I hit this dude with a 3k light attack, that guy is very squishy. So like, the whole time that you're kiting, you're poking people to see to see, you know, which one you should focus, and keeping your buffs up in the process and keeping them off of you and stuff. But when I'm kiting or whatever, I'm always switching targets. I mean, even in all my Xing videos, and I'll link them down in the description too if you guys want to see some of the examples of, you know, kiting and Xing and stuff. But like the whole time that I'm fighting, I'm constantly switching targets. So like if I don't burst somebody down to a point to where I feel like I can get them in execute range, I won't focus them unless they're doing a lot of damage or they're a healer or whatever. But you're always poking targets. You're always trying to see which one's the squishiest, or you're trying to bunch them all together so you can get an ult off like in a alleyway. But the cool thing about Stam Sork and stuff is you do have access to streak. Same goes with Mag Sork and Mag Nightblade, Stam Nightblade. You have fear. It's like just AoE stuns just to get the pressure off of you. Now as far as like picking your target, once you pick your target, you're not always going to burst somebody down. You're not going to get lucky. I mean, sometimes you do get lucky, sometimes you do not. So like if you don't burst somebody down, don't fret it. Just keep cutting, keep avoiding damage, keep staying mobile, keep using lines of sight. Like always be switching up your direction. So like if they're chasing you this way, I'll change my mind and I'll go right back through them. But like on my way, I'll try to streak through them, you know. But anyway, I know this could be a little bit complicated at first. I don't know, but like it's a learning process. It comes down to like muscle memory and doing it, and just this little alleyway in and of itself can really help you practice as far as kiting is concerned. I mean, I know a lot of you guys are OG players and stuff that do watch my content and stuff, and you guys just come for the Xing, but you know, there are a lot of new players, and you know, with the new players that's coming in the Greymoor patch, it's going to be good to maybe introduce some new solo players, because like solo 1v-Xing and solo players in general are a dying breed. They really are, and that's because of a lot of reasons, but that's not what this video is about. I apologize for rambling on, but I figured I'd show you this little place and, you know, maybe give you newer players some incentive to PvP or solo PvP, and this would be a good place to practice, like these little alleyways right here, because like even if say they're chasing you through here, you can just jet to the left and they can't see you, they won't be able to line up attacks, so you can just streak through them all, you know, come over here or whatever else. And I know it's pretty long video for what it is, but kiting really is an art form. Same goes with like solo play and stuff. But I figured I'd go show you guys this pretty neat little place that I found. Anyway, this pretty much sums up the video, guys. Figured I'd just give you guys some insight and my thought processes and stuff while I'm kiting and whatnot, for you newer players. And if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. You know the whole YouTube spiel. That notification bell in that comment section is more important to me than anything, because the comment section lets me know your feedback and what you guys thought of the video. And the notification bell is if you did enjoy my videos, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because it lets you know that anytime that I upload a new video, that way you won't miss anything. So, you know, like always, I really enjoy you guys stopping by, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.